You guys have no idea how long this took me to prepare for, but it's gonna be worth it. Trust me, it is time to delve into the world of the multiverse and discuss some mind-bending theories that could change everything. I'm talking about things that'll make you question reality itself, like alternate universes, time travel, and characters you thought you knew. We're going deep into the rabbit hole today. Are you ready? The first theory I want to discuss is the fan theory that Loki is actually the good guy. Now, I know this might seem crazy at first, especially considering Loki's history of causing chaos and destruction. But hear me out. Loki is a god of mischief. Yes, but he's also a complex character with a tragic backstory. He was always treated as an outsider, both by the other Asgardians and by Odin, his adopted father. And Loki often acted out because of this perceived rejection and feeling of being unwanted. If we look deeper into Loki's motivations, we start to see him as a tragic figure rather than a one-dimensional villain. He's not inherently evil, but rather a product of his environment and experiences. The theory proposes that Loki's actions are driven by his desire for acceptance and belonging. His schemes and acts of revenge are not born out of a malevolent heart, but from the pain and anguish he feels from being ostracized and undervalued. This interpretation of Loki is supported by moments throughout the MCU where we see a flicker of goodness within him. Despite his flaws, he displays empathy, compassion, and even selflessness. Take, for example, the moment in Thor: The Dark World, when Loki sacrifices himself to save Thor and the people of London, or in Avengers: Infinity War, when he hesitates to attack Thor and admits that he never really liked Thanos. These instances show that Loki is capable of great things, and that his heart is not as dark as some may believe. The theory also aligns with Loki's evolution throughout the MCU. In each film, he becomes increasingly disillusioned with the hypocrisy and corruption of Asgard and its people. By the time of Avengers Endgame, he has fully embraced his role as a hero, even coming back from being a villain in his own series to help defeat Thanos and save the universe. So, is Loki the good guy? I'm not sure. Perhaps he is a complicated mix of good and bad, capable of both great evil and great good. But what I do know is that he is a multi-dimensional character whose actions are driven by more than just a thirst for power and destruction. When we peel back the layers, we find a tragic figure yearning for acceptance and understanding. Loki's story reminds us that there are no truly evil characters, only those who have been broken by their experiences and circumstances. Now let's move on to the next crazy theory. This one will blow your mind. I honestly had no idea until recently. Professor X is actually the villain. Okay, let's break this down. In the comics, Professor X, aka Charles Xavier, is a founding member of the X-Men and a beloved mentor and leader to young mutants. However, in the MCU, we have yet to see a definitive version of the character. We've seen glimpses of him through other mutants like Mystique and Nightcrawler, but his actual appearance has been kept under wraps. This has led to speculation that the Professor X we are looking for might not be alive in the current timeline. A fan theory proposes that the Professor X we eventually see in the MCU will be revealed to be the same one from the Fox X-Men series, played by Patrick Stewart. This might sound far-fetched, given that the two cinematic universes were previously separate. However, with the introduction of the multiverse in the MCU, anything is possible. The theory suggests that the Professor X in the Fox X-Men series exists in a parallel universe that is now connected to the MCU's multiverse. This would explain why we haven't seen him yet, as the MCU might be taking place in a different universe where he is either dead or simply absent. This interpretation is supported by the fact that Patrick Stewart has already reprised his role as Professor X in the MCU animated series. What if, further cementing the possibility of him joining the live-action MCU as well? If this theory turns out to be true, it would be a mind-blowing twist that would connect the two X-Men series in a way we never expected. It would also be a clever way to introduce such an iconic character without having to start from scratch. What do you think? Is the Professor X we're looking for already among us? Let me know in the comments below. Moving on to the next crazy theory. Ghost Rider is coming soon. In the comics, Ghost Rider is a supernatural hero known for his skeletal visage and ability to punish the wicked. While he hasn't appeared in the MCU yet, there are hints that he may be on his way. A fan theory suggests that the mysterious character known as Vengeance in the MCU is actually the Ghost Rider. In the comics, Vengeance is a spirit of retribution that possesses the Ghost Rider, granting him his powers and transforming his face into a flaming skull. In the MCU, we've seen hints of supernatural elements, particularly with the introduction of the Darkhold, a book of dark magic. The theory proposes that the Darkhold could be the source of Vengeance's presence in the MCU, possibly corrupting or possessing an unsuspecting individual and turning them into the Ghost Rider. This interpretation is supported by the fact that we've had yet to see a definitive Ghost Rider in the MCU. The character of Vengeance could be an indication that the supernatural side of the MCU is growing, and that we may soon see the arrival of the Ghost Rider. Furthermore, the inclusion of the Darkhold opens up possibilities for a connection to other supernatural beings and entities in the comics, such as the Legion of the Unliving or the Spirits of Vengeance. This could lead to a team-up of sorts, with multiple Ghost Riders joining forces to take on a common enemy. The idea of the Ghost Rider in the MCU is exciting, because it would bring a different kind of hero to the screen. Known for his dark and brooding nature, the Ghost Rider would add a layer of complexity and depth to the MCU's roster of heroes. It would also allow the MCU to explore more mature themes and tackle darker subject matter. And finally, let's discuss the last crazy theory. Wanda is the Scarlet Witch. This is one of those theories that seems obvious now, but when you think about it, it's pretty crazy. Wanda Maximoff, portrayed by Elizabeth Olsen, is a powerful witch who has become a fan favorite in the MCU. However, despite her abilities and popularity, the full extent of her powers has yet to be revealed. A fan theory suggests that Wanda is actually the Scarlet Witch, a legendary Marvel Comics superhero with reality-altering powers. In the comics, the Scarlet Witch is known for her iconic red hair and costume, as well as her ability to manipulate reality on a cosmic scale. She is a member of the Brotherhood of Mutants, and later, the Avengers, and her powers have been depicted as some of the most dangerous and unpredictable in the Marvel Universe. Now, you might be wondering, why would Wanda be the Scarlet Witch if she doesn't have the classic red hair or costume? Well, here's where things get interesting. The theory proposes that Wanda's appearance and powers have been suppressed or altered due to external factors, such as the influence of other witches, or even government interference. This would explain why she doesn't remember being the Scarlet Witch and why her powers have remained relatively dormant. In the MCU, there have been hints of Wanda's true potential. In WandaVision, for example, we see her accidentally alter reality, creating the town of Westview and manipulating its inhabitants. This suggests that she is more powerful than she realizes, and that her memories and powers have been suppressed for some reason. The theory also aligns with Wanda's tragic backstory. In the comics, she was exposed to the chemical compound that turned her and her brother Pietro into soup. This exposure also amplified her latent magical abilities, leading to her becoming the Scarlet Witch. Similarly, in the MCU, Wanda's past is shrouded in mystery and tragedy, hinting at a deeper connection to magic and the supernatural. As we learn more about her past and the experiments conducted on her, it's possible that we'll also discover her true identity as the Scarlet Witch. The idea of Wanda being the Scarlet Witch is thrilling because it would mean that the MCU has yet to see the full extent of her powers. As she embraces her true identity and regains her memories, we can expect to see her unleash unimaginable power and magic, potentially reshaping the very fabric of reality. It would also deepen her connection to other magical beings in the cosmos, opening up possibilities for new allies and enemies alike. That's it. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through the world of the multiverse. Remember, in the grand tapestry of existence, even the smallest threads can hold extraordinary power. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and above all, keep believing in the infinite wonders that await us. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more crazy adventures.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos coming soon.